Alright, good day and welcome. I know I'm a day late to the patch notes, but I was busy yesterday so I couldn't go through this. Has some music in the background, I hope that's cool. I'll put it in pretty low volume. Because this looks like it's gonna be a long video. A long patch notes judging by the scroll bar here on the side, which you guys can't see now because I zoomed in a bit more so you can see the patch notes better. Like, this music a bit intense. Need more chill. I do enjoy my Warcraft music, but it's a bit too intrusive with the drums going off non-stop. Alright. King Gobo made the post, which is normal. He is one of the current community managers, I believe. So we'll go through this, we'll react to it, we'll analyze as we did with the previous three, which we can see down here. And now we'll see what actually changed beyond what they added to the DLC. Greetings! The Shadows Chains are expanding. Those not in the know, with the release of patch 4.0 tomorrow for Total War Warhammer 3, the Siege Cafe and Kislev content pack released back in August of last year will be receiving some additional content. This content will be free for all owners of Shadow Change, whether past, present, or the future. We go into what's arriving in Warhammer 3 during these patch notes. But if you'd like a more detailed look at not only the new arrivals to the game, but how they're conjured up as well, and some intel, you can swing over to the Triumph blog post penned by Warhammer 3 Senior Game Director Rich Aldridge. Blah blah blah. Before we kick off, can we do something else than making noises? Can we just get music? Oh, this isn't the actual sound, it's just some fucking made up. I'll turn off the music if they can't keep it nice and calm. How to download patch. Apparently we need a fucking bulletin for that. Alright, and here's the bullet points. Release spotlight, blah blah blah. Shadow Change update. We're kicking off patch 4.0 with the new content addition to the Shadow Change deals. Siege, Grand Cafe, and Kislev are getting some new stuff for you to play around with in Warhammer 3, so let's quickly see what's in store. Siege, Kislev Siege, yeah, we talked about this, we talked about this guy. We can probably just scroll through all of this, like, if you want to feel my opinion about this, you can watch the previous videos. You shouldn't be too far behind this one. The uploads. Gina, the Drake. Ah, here's, we didn't get to see the picture of the sled. Only saw the sketch before. Ice Core Sled, free LC. Catherine deserves a travel in style with Ice Core Sled, free edition. To Warhammer 3 alongside 4.0. 4.2.0. Can do just that. Ended by 6 of Kislev's finest steeds, Catherine has never zipped across the battlefield faster, able to smash through enemy lines when she makes impact, but that's not all. The duo of Ice Guard along the ride, able to snipe enemies with their bow. The Quartz Sled delivers heaps of damage, whether near or far. Want a comprehensive deep dive into this Shadow Change update? Head over to the blah 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 if you haven't already. Bloom tweaks. There's lots of shiny things in the world of Warhammer. Whether it be ammo of the High of Truths or the water flowing through the land, so much so that the bloom can get a bit much, causing images to be blown out. We resolved some issues with excessive bloom, which previously appeared over shiny and distracting, and adjust the bloom settings to prevent these blown out visuals, providing a balanced and improved appearance of bloom effects on armor, water, and unit banners in game. Here's what it looked like before, and here's how it looks now. I mean, yeah, this was definitely something that made the game look shit when there was like this glowy stuff. It's the bloom. So this looks certainly better. Like this glowy stuff here on the helmet, and yeah, how these guys look. The silver ring guard. I wonder if they fixed the weird shadows on desert maps, like all characters had this like particularly black aura around them. Like black dust. Like garbage. Corruption borders. The borders of corrupted lands have been seen a slight tweak, enhancing interpolation for more natural slanted edges. Eliminating the more aggressive example of jagged blocky appearance that can be seen at territory borders. Yeah, this was really bad of them. This was amateur level that they let this even exist for 2 years. Fucking Minecraft blocks. Which is weird because in Warhammer 2 we didn't have that issue. I think it looked like more like this. It's moved out. Which is kind of funny because when I went through level design, the like business education, doing this kind of thing with different terrains, melding them together, that was something we could do in our 5th project, I would say, near the end, which was like the 2nd year we were doing this kind of stuff. Shout out to the modders. Alright, modders for stuff that modders added before CA bothered adding the change bringers. What are change bringers? Is that the new flamers? Yeah, it is, guys. Stability and performance, we'll see. Remember, just because they say something in this patch now doesn't mean it's actually there. So don't believe everything that's here is in the game or is working as intended. Below are changes made to the gameplay systems, AI and other mechanics that define how the game is played. Rules and systems. Landmark buildings that increase trade will no longer provide those effects to factions that do not trade. Right? That has no effect whatsoever. Just less clutter on the landmark description. Fixed a number of instances wherein effects that modify port construction cost and construction duration were not functioning as intended. Fixed a handful of effects across the campaign that did not specify that they actually applied faction-wise, such as Smithy's Tavern, the Lost Underway Junction Landmark, buildings, and Lewin's exemplary conduct skill. And did not specify that they actually applied faction-wise. So does that mean that the effects did work faction-wide? It just didn't say that in the description. Well, fixed a rare issue where reinforcing an ambush battle character could gain legendary lore defeat trait of the character to where reinforcing rather than the enemy. Reinforcing in an ambush battle, a character could gain a legendary lore defeat trait of the character where reinforcing rather than the enemy. Alright, I never experienced that. And again, I don't do much ambush battles outside of the faction that has ambush on their basic movement. Updated construction cost for the defense buildings that increase Skaven Undercity discoverability so they are consistent across all races. Oh, updated, not upgraded. We split the campaign rendering into several modes selectable in campaign spacebar options. The modes are as follows. Ownership and province shows a large external border for factions and small internal border for provinces. Ownership and region shows a large external border for faction and small internal border for region. Province and region shows a large external border for provinces and a small internal border for regions. Alright, cool. More clarity for those people that want it. I'm not against it. The spacebar options menu has been reworked slightly to be more consistent. AI rules and logic. Fixed an issue where some minor factions could not recruit multiple armies or construct siege equipment. When the AI is controlling Mother Ostankia, they will now stockpile no more than 10 incantations at a time. Fix an exploit where Chaos Dwarf construction costs could be reduced far into the negative, making buildings made with raw materials and armaments extremely cheap, and at times even profitable. Construct. Right? Not much I can say about that, really. Chaos Dwarf isn't a hard faction to play. Battle highlights. Rampage rework. One of the biggest changes in this patch that we have completely reworked the way that the Rampage attribute functions. Is this like their third or fourth Rampage rework? We've done this because Rampage has always been one of those attributes that's been a little bit nebulous in the way that it actually works. With these changes, we hope that the functionality will be a lot more clear-cut. Rampage used to work by tracking 2 hit points thresholds, 75% and 40%. When the unit hits 75% hit points remaining, it would issue a Rampage token, which the unit would spend when it next took damage. If the Rampage token was spent, the unit entered Rampage state for 40 seconds, become uncontrollable. Same thing would happen at 40%. Hit point threshold when crossed. In short, to Rampage a unit using the old system, the unit needed to fulfill the following set of conditions. Have the Rampage attribute. Have a valid visible enemy within 150 meter to melee. Have taken a hit at all. Have at least one valid Rampage token remaining generated by passing either 75% or 40% HP. Not be routing. Not be unable to move. Method. Pretty complicated, right? So what does it do now? Rampage! A unit with Rampage attribute will be uncontrollable and will attack the nearest enemy unit. When there are no enemy units nearby, a Rampage unit will move around randomly instead. With these changes, it's a lot clearer in what the attribute actually does. If your unit has Rampage, they will be uncontrollable. If they do not, they function as normal. The random movement exhibited by rampaging units, if there are no enemy units nearby, is a new behavior as units used to just stand still in the rampaging state, if there were no enemies nearby. We made the change so the Rampage can be used from a distance to remotely disrupt formations if required. This makes some of the spells and abilities that apply Rampage, particularly some of Slanesh abilities, quite potent. I don't know if quite potent is the word we're looking for here. Because Slanesh doesn't have far range units to make use of the disruption. Unless it's like disrupting them before you do the like the charge in. And what about the units that had a Rampage attribute innately, Feral Manticores and the like? Under new implementation, units don't inherently have Rampage anymore. Instead, we now control the application of Rampage with 2 new abilities, which replicate the old behavior in the more deterministic and player-facing way. Rampage tokens are also no more, so the random chance of Rampage being applied after a hit is no longer a factor. Feral Rage 1. Rampage for 40 seconds. Enabled if hit points less than 75%. Hit points less than 25%. Rampage Feral Rage 2. Right. A unit with these new abilities will rampage twice per battle. Once at 75% and once at 25%. It will always happen unless you have a way to stop it like the Lizardmen do with cold-blooded ability. The eagle-eyed amongst you may notice that they have changed the second hit point threshold from 40% to 25% to offer more gap between the 2 thresholds. This is to avoid a situation where it is easier for the 2 abilities to stack and make a unit rampage for a longer period. We'll be monitoring this change carefully to judge its wider impact on the battle. There's a full list of units now that the Feral Rage 1 and Feral Rage 2. Manticore, Chaos Manticore, Red Saurian, Hydra, Wyvern, Manticore, Troglodon. The Troglodon Regiment of Renown units. Gold ones, Bastillodon, Carnosaur, Blessed Carnosaur, Stegodon, Mammoth, Saber-Tusked Patch, Razorgore Herd, Squig Herd, and Mammoth. These are all the feral variants, by the way. I just didn't want to say feral like 15 times in a row. Further down in these notes, you'll find all of the abilities that have been altered as a result of this change. Since Rampage is now always on, if the attribute is present, it made some builds incredibly spicy. And looking at you, Magic of Cain contact effect, so we have conducted a review of every ability that grants the attribute to ensure that it plays nicely with the new design. And what? Made some abilities spicy, Madness of Cain contact effect. I disagree. Because if you're rampaging a feral unit, I mean, I guess this is about not a feral unit, but since rampage is now always on, it's now always on if the attribute is present. I mean, Mans of Cain, that's from Witch Shells, I believe. And if they got into melee with a unit, they always trigger the rampage regardless, like, didn't matter. That's more or less guaranteed. Stealth Lizardmen update. With the changes to Rampage, we are now taking the opportunity to stealthy update the Lizardmen in battle slightly. With some thematic new abilities that were in the original army books, but missing for the game. Special shout out to Lore Master Sotek, who has been campaigning for Spawnkin in particular for a while. Spawnkin. The ability encourages synergy between skinks and Kroxigors. Neat. Yeah, this was one of those things that I wondered why it wasn't in the game. Like, back when Warhammer 2 came out. Because I played 6th edition, I think. 6th edition Warhammer Fantasy. And Kroxigor and Skinks had this skirmish, I think what's called. Nice screening. You put Skinks in front of the Kroxigors, and the Kroxigors couldn't get hit by range attacks, basically. Because the Skinks would be in the way. That's why it's called screening. Not the only units that have that mechanic in Warhammer Fantasy. It is not in 6th edition. Skink units gains the cause fear attribute. Alright, cool. That only not gives them fear, it also makes them immune to fear. Kroxigor units as small. Wait. Kroxigor units gets a small buff to their weapon strength. That's pretty garbage. Kroxigor does not lack in power and like when they hit, because when they hit hard. But they lack in actually being able to hit. I should know because I may remember when I made a Kroxigor stack, it was pretty hyped. And it got fucking butchered by a crap stack of spearmen and bowsmen. The tier 1 archers that the Empire gets. I remember how fucking sad it was the Kroxigor was unable to hit anything. Like they just got whittled down as well. When I expected them to mulch a full stack of tier 1 garbage infantry. They did not. Just don't have the melee attack for it. Evidently. Nor do they have the toughness. Anyway, moving on. There are 2 new attributes to govern this behavior. The following units are considered to be skinks. Skink Cohort, Skink Skirmisher, Red Crested Skink, Chameleon Stalkers, Skink Regiment of Renown, Blessed Skinks. The following units are considered to be Kroxigors. Kroxigor, Sacred Kroxigors, Regiment of Renown Kroxigors, Blessed Kroxigors. All Kroxigors with Kroxigor in the name. We had thought about introducing the synergy to characters as well, but with their vast array of mounts, it opens a whole can of worms. Is a Stegadon mount considered a skink versus the ancient Stegadon, which is also covered in skinks? We have to keep it simple in that regard. Let us know your thoughts, though. I think that's good. Because if there's one thing this game does not need more of, it's letting fucking hero units be the answer to replace everything else in an army. Because it's just so boring to see someone playing like 16 heroes in one unit. Maybe some artillery on the side or whatever. Personal preference, of course. Predatory Fighter. A unit with this ability gets a small portion of melee attack and speed whenever an enemy that they originally fought is routing. This allows Saurus and other Predator type units at Lizardmen and roster to find an edge when chasing down. Right, Saurus chasing down units. Aren't Saurus like the slowest infantry in the game that's not zombies? Like, I recall Saurus being incredibly slow, especially against their fucking neighbors, the Skaven, which are It's a movement speed bonus when they are low in morale, so they're even harder to chase down. So I don't know how much a small portion of speed is gonna help them chase down anything. I think they need 30% movement speed if they want to be able to catch and attack. Because it depends a lot, like what is their like running attack animation. That's what made a lot of Chaos Dwarf units so extremely good, because they have incredible chasing attacks where they like fly forwards like the Fire Snake guys, which I don't remember. And the Chaos, but if like we get a fucking Saurus guy that's gonna do the fucking 300 spear throw into the ground thing, that's just gonna be like a waste. Especially if that move misses, so to speak, when he does the attack roll. Because then we got away from flyby, and it's gonna do like a little twirl, and it's gonna pick up the spear. By that time, whatever he was chasing has already gone far off. Predatory Fighter was... I remember if it was called Predatory Fighter, it was called Primal Instinct. But basically what it did in the rulebook, at least in 6th edition, all it did was Saurus gets 2 attacks. That was it. They get 2 attacks if they are like in base contact with the enemy. So what that translates into is the front row gets an extra attack. If you had like Saurus spear units and you had guys with spears in the back, they wouldn't get the bonus attack. Because the Predatory Fighter was like, oh, they're biting and swiping with their other hand that's not holding the weapon. Slapping with their tail, etc. That's what Predatory Fighter did in the tabletop, which they have not been able to translate into the game yet. Kroq-Gar, Gorok, Nakai, Saurus, Gar Veteran, Ancient Crocs. Now this is all the units get Predatory Fighter, by the way. Saurus Oldblight, Skink Oracle, Saurus Warriors, Saurus Spears, Temple Guard, Feral Cold One Riders, Horn One Riders, Proxygore, Sacred Proxygore, Carnosaur, Troglodon, Dread Saurian, Regiments of Renown, variants of the above units, Blessed variants of the above units. Sacred Duty and Eternal Duty. Temple Guard now gains causes fear and immune to psychology attributes when standing next to a lord or hero. This upgrades to Eternal Duty for the Star Chamber Guardian Regiment of Renown, offering the cause fear and unbreakable attribute instead. Not that Saurus are known for getting starting to rout. That's cool, I guess. It's definitely a thematic with the Temple Guard. I don't think we'll buy them anyway because they're not an effective unit. But people play it for fun. At the lower difficulties can probably get them and feel awesome. Doesn't help their lack of getting anything killed. Solar Engine. Any lizard unit positioned near a solar engine will now regain vigor from its warming invigorating rays. Alright, that's cool. I like things that gives back vigor. Vigor is one of those things that can make a big difference. You just don't notice because the game isn't pointing out what actually is happening when your units are exhausted, etc. New attributes. Elemental. The elemental attribute works very much like the existing demonic and undead attributes. Elementals cannot be routed but take damage when the leadership is broken. Elementals also have physical resistance as well as fear and terror immunity. So they're just like demonic. The following units are considered to be elementals. Incarnate elementals of the beast, elemental bear, onyx crowman. Construct. The eagle-eyed among you may notice that this attribute is not new, as it originally arrived with the release of the Rise of the Tomb Kings. Much like the undead, demonic, and elemental attributes, this attribute prevents the unit from being applied from being routed, but damage is applied when leadership is broken. We have now applied construct attributes to several other units that fire the criteria of being construct. Other units are not considered constructs. Sight-Tying the Watcher, Terracotta Sentinel, Jade, and Jet Lion, and Rogue Idol. I mean, alright. Makes sense that they're constructs. I don't think anything is going to change, except that Doomkeen's Necrotechs can use their heal on them, I guess. We'll see in the future. Glorious Charge. This attribute originally comes from the Kislev army book, being a unique trait of Winged Lancers and the Griffin Legion. When charging into an enemy unit, charge bonus duration is doubled, and the enemy takes a leadership penalty, as if they've been attacked in the flank. Very cool. I wish they would show more clearer the whole charge bonus thing. Like, how much is my character currently having from it? What's the current state of the charge bonus? Has it run out already? Blah blah blah. All that. Following units have Glorious Charge: Winged Lancers, Griffin Legion, Boris Ursus on horse, the Golden Knight on horse, Tetra the Imperishable riding the Chariot of the Gods. Immune to flanking. Units with this attribute takes no penalties when flanked. Simple. The following units are now immune to flanking. Bastiladon, all variants. Was there not any other units in the entire game that could have had this? Just the Bastiladon? Like the least used dinosaur in the Lizardman roster? Because it gets instantly replaced by Stegodons. I mean Stegosaur. Yeah, Stegodons. Am I thinking right? Or is it called something else? Because in my head... oh no, it is the Stegodon. It's the one called with the spiked tail. Oh well. Because that was in my head. In my head, the Stegodon was the one with the spiked tail and like the fins on the back. Revealed. Units with this attribute are permanently visible to the enemy. Regardless of line of sight, the hide, forest, stalk, and unspotted attributes are also negated by this attribute. The reveal attribute is generally used offensively to reveal enemy units within an area. Silenced. Units with the silence attribute are unable to use active abilities or cast spells. Oh! Did they say they can use active abilities when they first talked about silence? Because that's pretty good. Not just spells, but also abilities. This is more like a PvP. Like this is nice for PvP gaming. Don't know how much it's gonna affect the people playing against the AI. The attribute is generally used offensively to shut down spellcasters. Mount Scale Fix. In previous release, we made some changes to fix some mount issues, which inadvertently caused all characters mounted using the Warbeast 2.0 tech, a new bit of tech we made for Warhammer 3 to support synchronized rider animation on larger mounts. We rescaled. We've gone through and adjusted the scaling of all affected characters to bring this back into alignment. While Carl Franz is indeed larger than life, we do prefer he's not larger than Deathclaw. That's what he looks like now. I actually have no like mental image of what this looked like before. I'm just gonna take it that it's gonna look fine. Raises and balance. Alright, we're halfway through the patch notes. Well, we did skip a large chunk because it was just a reap. Raises and balance. Fix the spotting range for numerous units such as the Empire's War Wagons and Sargard Regiment Renowned that were set too low. Spotting range. Is that how far they can see, or is it... I guess it that's how far they can see, rather than how far away they can be seen. These are a number of technologies that modify diplomatic relationship with all factions but do not apply to Chaos Wars. Remove the Pillar of Bone landmark building from Ogre Kingdoms, Wood Elves, and Norse as they are unable to construct their 4 buildings there. Pillar of Bone. Don't know which landmark that is on top of my head. Fix an issue where some beastmen and warriors of Chaos Rebels would suffer from terrain attrition that they should have been immune to. Alright, nice. Fixed an issue where occupying a settlement would not apply the -10 conquest penalty. Icon of Sorcery now correctly applies the caster that the banner is assigned to, as well as nearby casters. Fixed the Miragliano settlement, showing the wrong number of construction slots provided by each building level. Spells. Fix the lore of wild spells, Vile Tide and Traitor Kin, having the wrong cooldown reduction in character skills. Beastmen. Fixed an issue where Beastmen and Hearthstone effect were not cleared when Hearthstone settlement were occupied by another faction. I don't know why I went into that voice, but moving on. Fixed an issue where Beastmen buildings were increasing the rate of tower fire for the player rather than decreasing the rate of fire for the enemy. Rate of tower fire. I had some vague memory of seeing like a machine gun tower. That wasn't new. Fix the Beastman War Gore heroes replenish troops and embedded army action not functioning correctly. Songgores. Cheaper in multiplayer. More entities. Less barrier health. Less HP per unit. I'm gonna assume it's gonna be like the same amount of health, just across more units. Less leadership, a lot less melee attack, a lot more melee defense. Armor almost hauled. Faster. Charge faster. Less mass. Songgores were previously a bit confused on if they were Gores or Vestigores. Came to negotiation table and were collectively agreed that they are marked as Gores. Alright, so they changed the stats around to be more like a Gore rather than a Vestigore. That's why they dropped so much in attack. Carnet, Elemental of Beasts. Lot less leadership. Getting some spell damage resistance. Nice. Bonus versus infantry plus 10. Bonus versus large from 35 to 0. Don't know if I think that's a fair trade-off. Hello Clover and welcome to the patch notes. We're halfway through. We're going through what the different factions are getting. Plus 10 to infantry. Alright, so the Incarnate is worse against in Kaiju battling. Slightly better at stomping units it was one-shotting anyway. I don't know, this seems like a nerf in my eyes. New ability, Howl of the Great Beast. Remove the attributes Woodsman Unbreakable, because they now have it in the elemental trait, which is down here. Added attribute Strider. Which is Woodsman, it's just that Strider works in every terrain. More or less. Malagor will no longer forget that he has wings by climbing ladders in siege battles. Instead, he'll soar over them as intended. Fixed an issue where some Torok-specific effects were not applying to Incarnate Elemental of Beast and Sargor unit. I didn't actually know that the Beastman got access to the Incarnate Elemental. That's cool. I guess that's their late game giant. If you ever get bored of the Jabberwock. And the four-armed Gorgon. Fix the Beastman skill Beastlord Spite, not applying all three effects to Cygor units. Morgul's skill Ardor Fury now correctly applies the Primal Fury passive ability to all units in his army. Alright, Bretonia. Fix the special settlements Castle Drakenhof, Miragliano, and Corone, not providing Bretonian factions with the correct amount of growth. This is a buff or a nerf. You're not saying if they got fixed so they get lower or more. I'm gonna assume they are getting more now. Benefit of the doubt. The Green Knight, physical damage resistance from 40% to 55%. It still dies to 2 fireballs, so like whatever. Bretonia Prophetess Lord now correctly gains the Barded Warhorse at rank 5. Sure, that's nice. More armor on your caster. Makes him a little bit more resistant to arrow fire. Technology. Fix the Bretonia technology. Longer spears not applying correctly to mounted Jorman archers. Alright. I don't think this was a big loss. I mean, it's nice that they fixed it, but still. I don't think people use mounted Jorman horses for their melee capabilities. Chaos Dwarves. Fix display issues with the Chaos Dwarf Convoy Master Trait Canonry Experience. Don't know what the display issue was. I just take their word for it. And that they fixed it. Units, master of different mounts. Gain 100 gold cheaper in multiplayer. I guess they're trying to make people use that unit. Problem for the master is that there's like 6 or 8 legendary lords for the darkest to pick from. Also, Malekith has been a menace pretty much his introduction. Witch Elves. Added ability Witch Brew. Single usage. Removed contact effect Madness of Cain. Added contact effect Poison. Sisters of the Singing Doom. Just Witch Elves again. Just Regiment Renown. With exact same changes. Hargan of Executioners. Added attribute Immune to Psychology. Oh, I'm trying to remember when we did the fucking oh, what's it called again? The thing from Mad Max. When we did the fucking Death Bowl or whatever. Like all infantry against each other. I'm trying to remember if there was any occasion when our executioners started routing in any of those fights. I don't think they did. But yeah, sure, immune to psychology is always nice if they don't have it. Fix the Pit of Shade skill, not granting miscast. Reduction effect for lords. Yeah. Great weapons are pretty good. Fuck your bonus versus infantry. Don't need that if you can just chunk through you. Units. Dwarf Ancestor Spirits. Physical damage resistance 75% to 55. I did not know those Grandpa Ghosts had 75% physical resistance. That's a lot. Technology tree rebalance for the Grand Cafe. Technology tree for Grand Cafe had a balance pass to bring it more in line with other tech trees in Warhammer 3. In an aim to reach the same bar set by some factions that came after their addition to the base game. Generally, a push has been made to remove underwhelming or filler effects that were nice to have but not potent enough to pursue. Plus, we aim to increase the useful effects granted by certain technologies to make them all feel like a viable choice. Encourage experimentation with your progression paths. We won't cover all of them here. You'll want to jump into a campaign of your own to try them out. But here's a few examples to let you know what changes you're in for. Administrative subsidies. Minus 5% upkeep for peasants has been changed to 20%, minus 20% recruit cost for peasants. The original upkeep reduction wasn't noticeable enough. Rather than buffing it further and risk offsetting the economy, we switched it to a more potent recruitment cost reduction instead. Dragon Emperor's Blessing. Minus 5% upkeep has been removed. Hero/Lord recruitment rank has been changed from +2 to +10. Oof. This mid to late game campaign effect wasn't serving its purpose as it merely provided more money to those that often already had plenty. Instead, we removed the effect and significantly increased the recruit rank of heroes and lords to be more noticeable in your campaign. Race of Zhenjiang. Plus 50% XP for characters has been added to this technology. Grand Cafe's technology tree doesn't allow XP to be granted often, so here's a nice hefty slab of experience to chase. Inner Speed, plus 5% speed bonus, has been changed to plus 20% speed bonus. For a tech called Inner Speed, we felt that 5% wasn't putting the pep in your step, and the name implied, so a boost made to make it more viable. That's so nice. Can you do this with all the other tech trees too while you're at it? Because holy shit, those fucking 5% here and there is all over the game. Please do something about the green skin tech tree, it's awful. I call for this, it's fucking garbage. Campaign. John Bo now begins his campaign with a Gate Master. Units. John Bo, the Jade Dragon, human form. More melee attack, less melee defense, charge bonus, bit more armor, he hits harder. Remove Executioner. Executioner is now present on the ability granted by his unique item, the Dragon's Fang. Executioner is now available permanently on his campaign skill tree attached to the Executioner skill. What was it Executioner did again? Was it an insta-kill when the character was under a certain percentage of health? Because that's how I vaguely remember it when I first read about it. Kinda weird that he has it when there are like much more renowned character slayers out there that should have that kind of ability. Like Grimgore should have it. John Bow, the Jade Dragon in dragon form. Gains more attack, gains less defense. Gains a pointless amount more charge bonus. Celestial General. More expensive in multiplayer. Less health, more leadership, more armor. It's harder. Jade Lungma. But yeah, it's just the same effect, just versions. Lord Magistrate. Made cheaper. It's probably still garbage. Unless they reworked him. Which it does not look like they have. Onyx Crowman. Added attribute Elemental and Jin. Removed attribute Yang. Why did they change it? They remind that this is a Jin character rather than a Yang character? What? Melee attack decreased, leadership decreased, physical resistance up. The physical resistance because of elemental. Enable magic attacks. Onyx Crowman now had the correct MP cap. Empress Crowman, which is the original for noun version. Blah blah blah. Same changes, just higher stats. Jade Lion and Jet Lion. And again, construct. Jade Lion gets a mastery of elemental winds, whatever that is. Remove the means to psychology because that's built into the construct trait, so it doesn't matter. Made a lot more expensive in upkeep. Right, whatever. They gain a lot more health. So that's nice. About, let's say 15% more health. Leadership decreased. Spell damage resistance 50% for the Jet Lion. And the Jade Lion does not get that. They both get missile damage reduction, which is nice. Remove contact effect flammable for the Jade Lion. And instead the Jet Lion got the contact effect disrupted. Now inflict silence attribute on enemy units. Oh, so they just do this by just attacking. That's pretty strong. I can see this being something that can see a multiplayer play, because you can keep a unit from not using their spells or activatable abilities. As long as you have one unit of Jet Lions harassing them. Terracotta Sentinel. Added Construct, removed Unbreakable, because that's a part of Construct now. Leadership reduction. Missile damage resistance, very nice. The Green Guardian. Same changes. Zangyu Wardrum added an attribute Encourage. Does Cafe have morale problems? I don't think they do. I rarely remember getting routed. Removed attribute Spell Mastery. Harmony Amplification increased double, so now it's 50%. Which I guess is nice for a unit that doesn't do anything. Disdain of the Dragon Emperor ability. Added +10 reload skill buff. We like your reload skill buffs. Shooting more is always nice. Oh my god, green skins. Copium. Activating. The Jade Wardrum. Gets the same Fury of the Falling Blade ability. Remove speed buff. Added causes fear buff. Whatever. Fix the Lord Magistrate's battle abilities. Tactician, Rally, and Tacticians stand your ground. Triggering immediately rather than allowing a target to be set. Oh, so it's like all the others stand your ground and rally. No, it's... Otherwise it could apply it elsewhere. No, it's just activate where you're standing. Right. Fix an issue where the Stormwind Coronal would not get issued in the Realm of Chaos for Miao Ying. I don't know what Stormwind Coronal is, I'm sorry. Not in-depth cafe player. Ancillars given via the Lord Magistrate's skill tree and no longer tied to ownership of the Shadows of Change. Okay. Good. I'm still not gonna get any fucking Lords Magistrates, I'm sorry. Greenskins. General updates. Aztec the Slaughter's unique mount Skullmuncher now displays the correct bespoke armor pieces with some fixed LOD issues and processed textures to boot. They only did this because someone else, like last month or the month before that, made a mod where they brought this unique Skullmuncher back into the game. Because the files were always there since Warhammer 1. Just CA has been too fucking lazy to do it themselves until it was brought to attention that it is a thing that exists. Now they think they're gonna get good boy points for making it official. But yes, good job on giving Aztec his unique mount model. It's been in the game since 7 years ago whenever Warhammer 1 came out. Rogue Idol. Made a lot cheaper, 300 gold less. Upkeep costs, also cheaper. Added attribute construct, removed attribute unbreakable because that's a part of construct, so it doesn't need unbreakable because it would just be overlapping. Less upkeep cost is good because greenskin and common economy is shit. FN it's the Regiment for Renown version. Fix the number of issues where greenskin units included in Regiment Round were not receiving bonuses they should have. Or were receiving the wrong bonuses. There's an issue where the Grumbling Guard, Longbeard's Great Weapons, Regiment for Renown, was not receiving some bonuses of 4x artifacts. Why is this in the greenskin? Why is the fucking dwarf notes here and in the fucking greenskin section? Actually, I don't think the dwarves even got any changes. Oh, there they are. Oh yeah, they nerfed the ghosts. Oh well. He has a lot of type. Sure, his name. King Gobbo. Got tired halfway through writing all this. Even though that's probably his entire week of work. For just having this written. High Elves. Mage Fire Mount Sun Dragon. Missile resistance increased. Nice. Noble. Recruitment cost decreased. Multiplayer. Decreased cost for the nobles. Whatever. Kiln. Fix the Kiln's Chosen skill not applying to Marauder Berserker Regiment for Renown. And incorrectly applying a leadership bonus to Chaos Spawn unit. Thank God. Oh no. How are we gonna use Chaos Spawns now when we don't have leadership anymore? The unbreakable unit that does nothing because it's so fucking weak and always has been and always will be because I don't want them to be good. Kislev. Removed ability Ice Shard. Added ability Guardian Call. Isn't this the one that summons a cat? Guardian Call? I'm pretty sure this is the summon cat spell. And she loses out on Ice Shard. I don't know, I like Ice Shard more. It's a bombardment spell, but bombardment spells are good. Ice Witch Ice. Removed ability Glacial Blast. Added Ice Shard. Frost Maiden. Removed Glacial Blast. Added Ice Shard. Also, Catherine isn't good enough to Ice Shard, but these fucking clowns are. The ones who are less powerful than her. I don't like spending Winds of Magic on a fucking summon. Well, at least not a fucking cat. Snow Leopard is garbage, I'm sorry. Not a good unit. Especially not for the winds it demands to be summoned. Like, if it was a big stumpy thing. Like, a Beastman can summon a Cygor, that's a bit different. That actually gets an impact. Hag Witch. Lost a lot of health. 1,500 about. That's more than 20%. That's about 25% reduction. Yeah, something like that. Less ammo. I don't know how much impact. I never used the Hag Witch. I don't know how much they shoot. Mother Stankia. Oh, 50 gold cheaper in multiplayer. It's gonna change everything. Big health reduction as well. Less ammo. No ward save. Akshina Ambushers removed splash attacks. Oh, they had splash attacks? Calibration distance. 150 to 120. This is a large range net reduction in effective accuracy at extreme edges of the range. Alright. I'm gonna wing it and say that these ambushers are still the meta unit. They're still the power creep because it did not change the, like, their armor piercing values or anything like that. They're still beating all other skirmishers, range units that the Kislev have. For being a tier 3 units, they shit on tier like ice guards and shit. Voidinous Brawlers, Streltsy. More melee attack, slightly less melee defense, more charge bonus. Remove splash attack, blah blah. I see the splash attack was for their melee. Incarnate Elemental Beast. The standard elemental / construct changes. Gain 10 bonus received after remove bonus. Oh no, wait, this, yeah, we already read this, but when it was the Beastman, so it's the exact same changes. Fine, moving on. Things in the Woods. More expensive multiplier, more entities, less health, total HP remains the same. No, it's not. 20 units with 300 health is 6,000. 24 units, 250 is 149. It's 5,976, so they lost 24 health. Don't you lie to me and say they have exact same amount when I can see it clearly. The numbers that they do not have. There remains the same HP. I couldn't just give them... Wait, why couldn't I just give them 250 HP? If they did, would get them the exact same amount. Yeah. 24 times 250 is also 6,000. Why are you intentionally doing this, CA? Total HP remains the same. No. Because you decided to do this fucking number. Armor. A bit more armor. The Mordheim Beowulfs. HP remains the same. Just gonna double check this as well. Might as well. That's 6,400. 6,500. No, they have 40 less health. Unlucky for Things in the Woods fans. Can brace, true equals false. But turned into false. Alright, so they could brace apparently. Don't know how big of an impact that had. Things in the Woods ethereal. Number of entities from 20 to 12. Hit points. HP remains the same. Sure, it will say. No base weapon damage. Slapped straight onto the armor piercing value. Okay, half the size but now have the full ethereal package. They are the units summoned by the Hagwitch Beast Spears of Coldonia ability. Alright. Griffin Legion and Winged Lancers got more expensive and gained a glorious charge. More upkeep, ew. Boris got more leadership. More stats for the Boyar. Are we ever gonna use the Boyar now? Now that we have the Drushina. Kossars. Added attribute Woodsman. But I already had that. Oh. Should have had that from the start. Streltsy. More melee attack, less melee defense, more charge, effective range. Alright, so I want them to be a bit more aggressive. Streltsy. Melee attack always outwins melee defense anyway. Unless you want an absolute wall like Iron Breakers, but you need the stats to be able to tank as well. Elemental Bear, just the typical elemental changes. Little Grom, bonus versus large from 0 to 50. Base reload time from 16 to 12. That's a pretty big reload speed increase. Let's see. Is it 25 or 33%? Not sure how it works when it's downwards. If the base value is 16, 50. Yes, it's 25% faster then. If it was 12 to 16, it would be 33%. Yes. As our percentage work. Alright, so bonus versus large. Is this for the cannonball or is it for the melee? Because they're not specifying that. I'm assuming it's the cannonball that gets the damage. Otherwise, this would be the largest bonus versus anything for a melee attack. Would make them kind of funny absolute beast against cavalry trying to flank them and kill them. Dash Heartblades, Sargard. Apparently they lost their vision, need glasses. Visibility max range from 40 to 1500. Oh no, this is the minimum range. Alright, so they're not as far-sighted. But their vision fixed. The Frozen Heart of Winter, Elemental Bear, blah blah blah, typical elemental changes. Snow Leopard recruitment is now available tier 2 of the Animal Den. No one is gonna recruit that thing anyway, it's still bad units. Weak. Incarnate Elemental of Beast recruitment is now available tier 5 of the Forest recruitment. Forest recruit. I assume that's a Stankia building to get those Stankia units. Fixed an issue where Hagwitch heroes would spawn with legacy innate traits that have gone out of fashion. Ah, nice. Do that for all the other factions, by the way. Don't just do it for this. I know there are other characters that gets the old traits are just straight up worse than what we have now. Especially Khorne, for example. Khorne have like the Khorne versions and then regular versions as well of the same traits more or less. Just more stats on the Khorne versions. Lizardman. Krokar now also gains 1% weapon strength for character rank as Sars Oblast, where Sheikly ending up stronger than him at rank 50. Alright, cool. I like Krokar buffs. Cool guy. Primal Instinct is more consistently spread across the Lizardman rosters, faction widely passive. Yes, we talked about this earlier. Fixed 2 of the Henoin sacrifices Sotex not unlocking the correct tire. Alright, good job. Less visibility range. I guess this means you can get closer before they get detected or something. Pterodon Riders gained Woodsman. But they're flying units. Why would they want Woodsman? Isn't Woodsman you get like no penalty for being in the woods? And that your projectiles flies through. Oh, maybe that's why. You can carpet bomb enemies in the woods without your stones hitting trees instead of units. Maybe that's what it's about. Let's see, Red Crested Skinks added skink attributes. Yes, for the Croxigore and skink bonus. Missile block chance increased for Temple Guard. For duty, I mentioned that before. Eternal duty. 55%, is that silver shields? Or is that gold shields? On the icon. Bastiladon, immune to flanking. It was so weird that they decided, we have a new trait, immune to flanking. The only unit can have it, the Bastiladons. Sacred Croxigore. Added Croxigore attribute. And Chameleon Stalkers, aim Sheeper. To recruit, Sheeper upkeep. Cool. All the other Bastiladons immune to flanking, and the Solar Engine Bastiladon gets the Solar Engine ability. Passively regenerates Vigor. Nearby Lizardman. Ancient Stegadon Regiment of Renown firing arc and mass values now match those of the regular Ancient Stegadon and the Stegadon unit. Yeah, they fixed that some time ago. in 4.1. Norska. Blah blah blah. Roleplay text. With the addition of Frostworm to Kisle's roster, the old Frostworm has suddenly remembered that it's in fact and all has been called a Chaos Frost Dragon. Ways of Chaos are fickle indeed. The Cold Voider, Chaos Frost Dragon, also renamed. Nurgle. Fix the speed on Malice and Savage Bloodlust skills not applying to Pox Riders of Nurgle units. Savage Bloodlust? I think those are they Lord army buff stuff? Clan Molder now correctly gets growth use from the exotic animals and first resource buildings. Alright, cool. Added a Pit Fighters of Helm's Deep Roar unit to Skaven Technologies. I think they mean like the unit that shows up when you like look what does these stats improve, which units, and you like get a picture and you get like a bunch of pictures of which units. So I guess they're added there. They show the date you get the bonuses, those techs. Summoned Rat Ogres now have Scurry Away and Frenzy to align with their non-summoned counterparts. Alright. Slaanesh. Fix the Slaanesh timber resource building, not providing any timber. It took 2 years for them to figure that one out. Not counting the actual development time game. That's 2 years after release. Units, Demonettes. Base weapon damage from 8 to 12. This change was in previous set of patch news but not implemented. It has now been implemented. Well, it's nice that when they implement things that they say they implement. That's what I meant at the start of this. Don't take everything for granted that they say they're in the patch notes are actually in the game. Don't take that for granted, not when it comes to this development studio. Bringers of Beguilement. Contact effect Rampage. Swapped out to Charmed. I don't remember what Charm did. Was that minus melee defense and melee attack? We don't know yet. People will definitely figure out over the week. Empire. Fix the Empire fort buildings, not reducing attrition at all 5 levels. The Huntsman General skill, Experienced Hunter, now correctly enables bonuses large ammo for Huntsman and Archer units. Huh. I thought that was always a thing. Oh well. Joke's on me. Tomb Kings. Pride in Service now also applies to Tomb Guard Regiment for now. Roleplay text, which means that Cetra gets Glorious Charge, which was mentioned before when we talked about Glorious Charge and what it does. Syrian Legion of the Netherworld and Hekara Warriors. Loses all base weapon, but gets all that put into Armor Pen. It's Frostbite. Sure. That's cool. Siege. Fix an issue where changeling schemes to infiltrate a settlement could be completed by constructing an allied outpost. When using the Scriveners of Insanity Unholy Manifestation, the Grimoires gain will now correctly display under the Unholy Manifestations factor in the Grimoires tooltip. Units A called Hellbrass, less melee defense, gain Deadly Onslaught and Foe Seeker in Skirmish. Blue Scribes became more expensive in multiplayer. The Changeling became a lot cheaper. Cost is the base price of the Changeling, which is summed with the cost of the additional form picked for the battle. Melee attack reduced, melee defense increased, armor decreased. Songors rebalanced as Gores. Yeah, we already through this. It's the same change as in the basement. Cockatrice. Game cheaper, less upkeep, less health. Mutalith Vortex Beast. Lost 20% health. Lost a lot of attack. Gained a little bit of melee defense. Lost a lot of charge bonus. Gained some missile resistance. Bonus versus infantry from 0 to 20. Bonus was large from 30 to 0. So both the Incarnate And the Vortex Beast got their bonus versus large removed. And they got bonus versus infantry instead. Why? Also, why did this one get 20 more while the Incarnate only got 10? Maybe the Incarnate has more melee attack. I don't know, this feels like a nerf. Then again, this is Siege. Siege already have bonus versus large and everything because of the halberds is the only thing they get to wield. I guess letting the big monster be good at munching infantry is not so bad. Aeson the Fallen. Regiment Renowned Vortex Beast. Same changes. Added ability, Aura of Mutation. I don't know what that one does. Herald of Siege, Mount on Disc, Burning Chariot, gain Strider. This is a flying unit. I guess if you really want to dive into a forest, it's nice to have. Doom Knights also gain Strider, everything gains Strider. Salted Flamer, Calibration Distance, 40 to 100. More calibration was worse. There's the ambushers, Kislev's ambush guys. Got increased, and that was to make them less accurate. Calibration area increased, and base explosion damage reduced. Armor piercing explosion damage reduced. What? Projectile impact now spawn moving flaming vortex. Oh, that's why. They grabbed the baby vortexes from Chaos Dwarves. Put them on this unit. From the Chaos Dwarves, like basic a fireball spell. Their Lore of Ashut. Burning Chariot of Siege, same stuff as the Exalted one. Knights of Immolation, added Strider. Event by Cost. Fleet Admiral with Polearm, added Charge Reflection, Charge Defense versus Large. It's nice when they're getting the attributes as the weapon they're holding. Added attributes Encourages. Encourage. When he's on the Necrophilic Colossus, the Dan Paladin will now correctly capture points in the settlement. Fix the Vampire Coast Siren follower being equipable by heroes. Okay. Don't know what that follower does. I don't know what the bonus is. I don't know how much it would matter. Vampire accounts. The vampire accounts follow Gravedigger now correctly. The vampire accounts follower, Gravedigger, now correctly reduces the raise dead cost when equipped by a hero. So they claim. We still have to see if that's the case whenever someone else. How about you try it and let me know in the comments below. It actually works. Vlad von Costein's skill, Lore Master, Lore of Vampires, now reduces the waste of magic cost for his version of Transformation of Canon spell, rather than Curse of Years, which he does not have access to. Alright, that's good. Nice having a discount on the spells you can use, and spells that is those spells you do not have. Great. Earl Mangor's innate trade now also increases armor of critical regiment. Down. Right. Warriors of Chaos. Bellacor's faction effect, minus 25% accuracy of demon units, now correctly applies to all demon units. Yeah, every time they add a new demon, they have to fucking like slap this on the thing because they don't have effective unit tagging. They can't just like make a category called demon in their coding that all things that affects demon would get that effect. They got a manual put in every single new demon to make sure Be'lakor get that discount. Warriors of Chaos will now gain souls from raising Chaos Dwarf settlements and from sacrificing Chaos Dwarf captives post-battle. This implies that now Chaos Dwarves and their laborers have souls. Deep lore impact. Let's see, Chaos Lord became able to recruit a multiplayer, blah 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 blah. Chaos Lord of different mounts. Strider for the Sorcerer Siege. Cool. Mostly multiplayer price changes. Made him cheaper overall. Fix the Warriors of Chaos skill, Chaos Vanguard and Legion of Doom not applying to devoted Marauders of Slaanesh. Fix some skills that were applying to Exalted Pink Horrors and Regiment of Renowned Pink Horrors, but not regular Pink Horror units. Technology. Fix the technology right of Ascension, erroneously applying to the Slaanesh Chaos Chariots Regiment of Renown. I did not encounter that. Unfortunately, it would have been nice to turn that raw unit into a greater demon. Fix the Giant Manacles technology not applying to the Bilious Thunderguff Chaos Giant Regiment. For those that don't know what that is the Nurgle giant that can fart on demand. What else? In a recent release, some Wood Elf faction leaders were changed in order to have the maximum variety of voice actors. It resulted in Torgavan losing Dave as their faction leader, which has now been restored. Malevolent Treeman. Capture power decreased. Keeble capture power decreased. Is this a multiplayer balance thing? People just make the purple Treeman, send them into capture shit. When performing a ritual of rebirth as Wood Elves, forest health will no longer decline during the ritual. Once completed, Athaloran forest health will no longer naturally decline. That's nice. Not necessarily needed, but nice that it's there, I guess. Your ideal skill, Excise Return, now correctly grants the Annoyance of Netling's passive ability to Dryads only ranked 7 and above. Yes, that gave it to Dryads that were lower than that. Unit abilities. Forward on ability durations. A running theme you'll see below is a lot of existing abilities that causes Rampage are going to decrease the duration to account to increase reliability. We've marked each ability affected by this with Rampage. We also reduced the duration of some abilities to grant a bonus in exchange for rampaging, so we felt that losing control of your unit for too long, Ace of Cain lasts for a whole minute, was a bit too uninteractive. Slaanesh army ability refactors. Following the changes to Rampage, we were faced with the dilemma of handling Slaanesh wide abilities. Slaanesh army wide abilities. We weren't quite happy with the power level versus the accessibility of each tire. We shuffled both the order and the effects of these around a bit. This also applies to the campaign. These abilities are switched places in appropriation places, blah 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 blah. Alright, so Fascination and Sweet Sorrow replace swap places. Wind up time increased, direct damage amount doubled for Fascination. Is a slight damage increase in total. Yeah, this is 140. This is like 115. Yeah. With the updated Rampage, the ability was proving itself a bit too scary at the first. Blah 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 blah. Narcissism. Lasts longer cooldown. 3 seconds wide. Narcissism is only a small buff to duration. Eat more evenly with Fascination in its dedication. Roll. Sweet Sorrow from Tier 3 to Tier 1. Blah blah blah. Cooldown reduced to half, so it's now 1 minute cooldown. That's 15 instead of 20 seconds. From 5 seconds to 1 second wind up time. Single target. Oh, it's that one. That's garbage. Alright, they made Sweet Sorrow garbage by the looks of things. Sweet Sorrow has been reimagined. Well, it was pretty terrible before as well. Guess nothing changed. Sweet Sorrow has been reimagined as a single target nitrous oxide. Yeah, it only affects 1 unit now. I mean, I guess it can be fun for a Chariot or Nakari. Make them fast. Character abilities. Curse of Jeff. Rampage. 22 for 30 seconds. Alright, all rampage stuff reduced. Language of the boys. I don't know what that actually does. But the effective range from 35 to 55. Twisted Twin. It's the Singe guy. Champions of Wars of Chaos. Maximum melee attack bonus from 8 to 10. The requirement for reaching maximum effect is unchanged. Celestial Sweep. Now does magical and flaming damage. Adjustment to timing. Crown of Claws. 35 to 50 effects. Rage embodied. Duration decreased. Recharge time. Blah 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 blah. Decreased time of all rampage stuff to 15 to 18 seconds by the looks of it. Clear of Insanity. Quest ability. Number of users unlimited to 1. That's boring. It's for one single quest. Let people have fun. Unless this is an ability for the AI, then yeah, good thing that they already changed that. This comes with a story. Glare of Insanity is used by the giant boss Hydra you face during the Beast of Rayman monster hunt. Alright, okay, good thing that they made it limited, and if this is an NPC attack. So yeah, it made your army perma-rampaging in its old state with the new rampage system. They had to limit it to one-time use. Spells. Oh, active time. Armor of Darkness. Priest. I was getting my hopes up when I saw a buff getting more lasting longer. I thought they had listened to my previous read-throughs of these patch notes when we did the Kislev one. But no, they're not increasing the buff durations on spells. That one. Fear of Cain, instead of 1 minute, is 28 seconds. Bonus weapon strength 50% instead of 25%. I say that's a buff. Can help you nuke down whatever your unit is fighting. Like Lord versus Lord battle or whatever. Blah 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 blah. Special Nangao grenades. Number of users 1 to 2. Active time seconds from 0.1 to recharge time 0.1 to 60 seconds. Thus you have 2 users now instead of 1. Wouldn't matter to have a cooldown if it was only 1 use anyway. Base missile damage from 40 to 10. Base explosion damage tripled. Armor piercing damage cut down by 90%. Armor piercing explosion damage. Explosion radius. Is this a carpet bomb attack now? The Nanga grenade's ability now causes the unit to steadily carpet bomb. Yeah, it is. The area beneath them for over 10 seconds. We moved more of the damage into the explosion instead of direct grenade, giving you a chance to either focus the bombardment on one unit for devastating effects, or swing across a battle line to scatter across several units. Okay, I like that change. Seems good. Seems like a more fun ability this way. Guardian Shield. They're changing all the effect range to 55 instead of 35. I guess it's to be in a line with other abilities that are like aura effects. Number of effective units 0 to -1. Added negates enemy magical weapons in area. Number of affected units 0 to -1. What? Or I guess from not affecting any units, it affects a non-existent unit as well. Petrifying Gaze, number of uses -1 to 1. Petrifying Gaze, that's the snake lady, right? I'm thinking of another character. The Blood Rack Medusa, whatever they call them. Active time -1 to 32. Cast range. This ability has been reworked into a one-time use powerful petrification effect. Steady slows target enemy down, escalating by 25% every 8 seconds until the target spends the last 8 seconds unable to move. I don't know who has petrifying gaze. But if this is a cafe spell, then sure. They have ranged firepower. Can be a good way to kill something like... keep forgetting his name. Scarbrand. But Scarbrand runs ahead of his army anyway, so you just kill him before his army gets even close to him. Game! Below are changed to assistant that supports and enhances gameplay. Is this worth reading through? And yeah, it's not that much. Fixed an issue that could stop flying units from playing the right death animation if killed while charging. Guess that when like the freezes and just like... let's say my hand is like a flying unit and it goes like this. If any dies, if any it's just like this. If any it's like slowly sinks down into the ground. I think it's that kind of thing. Fixed an issue where some vampire counts units would appear black in 2D portals depending on the faction they were played under. Fixed an issue where Ice Witch swords were not docking correctly during a moving attack. Docking correctly? Not sure what they mean. I don't think they mean cheating it because it said during a moving attack. Whatever. Carnosaur no longer makes himself smaller during a sync kill. I do remember that happening. I do remember the Carnosaur shrinking for sync kills. Fix the Arcane Phoenix 2D portal image colors. I don't think I ever used an Arcane Phoenix. I don't know what the problem was. Fix the Dark Elf Feral Mammoth 2D portal images colors. That's like that's one faction that can have Feral Mammoths. Your Beastmaster. Damsel's weapons will now appropriately splattered with blood. Yeah. When I was using the more color variation for feral dinosaurs. Fortunately, what that meant for me was that we got one with checker pattern, and it was either that or an invisible Carnosaur. Sometimes I had both in the same army. On the Wuxing compass, the teeth of a small skull on the articulating part was skinned to the wrong bone, resulting in them floating and not following the frame. As such, the skinning has been updated. Good job. Adjusted night environments on cafe farms to reduce harsh shadows. Alright, but when are you fixing the fucking desert shadows? Holy shit, they've been looking garbage since forever. I hate the fucking black powder aura, whatever we're gonna call it. Exalted heroes now clench their right hands thanks to skinning update. Clench their right hand. Right hands, even. Fixed an issue with Assag missing a weapon when mounted. Updated skinning on lower LODs of the Blood Rack Medusa and War Hydra units to fix. Oh, LOD, I thought... level of detail, that's what's it. The Dragon Crown of Karas quest battle now uses the correct skybox/lighting. Dragon Crown of Karas. I guess that's I can forget his name. All fucking Dwarf Lords starts with T in their name. Forik. Is it Forik Ironbrow? Whatever, the guy that shows in the picture. This guy. That's his helmet. Forgrim, there we go. They're all for something. Forik, Forgrim. The only Ungrim that stands out, but he got Grim in his name, so it sounds almost the same. Audio. There's some missing animation sounds for the Spirit of Tepoquatl. Never used that one. Fixed campaign proximity conversational voiceover not working for newly recruited characters until the next load. As well as they're not triggering correctly if other conversational states are currently active. Proximity conversational. Alright, this is when you're on a campaign map and units are like, well, not units, but like heroes and lords are talking while on them, and you're like looking over them. Like, shut up, demon! The Dripping Fangs faction in Immortal Empires now uses the correct VO actor in diplomacy. Good job, Dripping Fangs. Don't know which race that is. Fix the missing icons when recruiting assaulted heroes and their marked versions as the Champions of Chaos. Fixed an issue where legendary heroes were referred to as the wrong character type in events, such as when wounded or a rank was gained. Alright, no one cared about that. Clarify tooltips and text surroundings manual and autosaves to the cloud. Adjusted some event text to better match the rewards. Fixed an issue where Mother Stankia's Spirit Bear ability wind up UI animation wouldn't show correctly. Fixed a Norscan character having a blank name in Immortal Empires. Changed a few characters' skill icons to better match their effects. Unbinding tooltip for summoned dryads, red ogres, and wolf rats no longer show duplicate entries for stable when enemy and ally targets. Alright, I do actually remember. Like, same icon showing up twice. I'm looking over some units. Looking forward. There we are. We've been excited to finally get this update into your hands, and we can't wait for you to jump in and try it out tomorrow. Be sure to let us know how you feel about the update. Blah, 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 blah. Look over here. Click on these things. Give us traction. As for what's on the horizon for Warhammer 3, we got our sights set on Thrones of Decay, as we look forward to welcome the new recruits from Nurgle, the Empire, and the Dwarves, with open arms. Oh, so the first faction is Dwarves. Neat. I love Dwarves. We're finally gonna get the giant golems now, I guess. And the like slave collar dragons, earth dragons that dwarves have. It's mentioned in lore. Until then, we'll keep a watchful eye on your feedback, engaging where we can, and dropping hotfixes Warhammer 3 along the way. Oh, is that why they made a frost worm? I need to look before we wrap up this video, because it might be relevant. Is that why they made this thing for us? Is this thing gonna be reskinned for the dwarves? Because they're gonna give them the fucking rock digging dragon that they put slave collars on to control them, like the one you get from Forg Ironbraw's quest chain. You can get the control the Carnosaur. Yeah, so this one might become. I mean, it's already a salamander reskin, but it might become they might like change some details. But yeah, I can see this like instead of blue, it's like to turn this into my like rock looking stuff or details. Could be something happening. Alright, that's gonna be it for this video. And with that, we'll probably see each other again next time they post content, which will be Throne of Decay teasing. And with that, you can always subscribe if you wanna see my latest hot takes. And if you can follow my Twitch and my other channel, which I also make videos on, bit more effort put in those videos than these videos. Yeah. Alright, overall, what do we think about patch 4.2? Well, it's definitely a lot of good. I still think Rampage is not very interesting. Even if they keep rebranding it, but it's still the same shit over and over. But we'll see how it turns out. Overall, I think it's a good DLC. It's just unfortunate I don't care about Siege. I don't care too much about Kislev or stuff Kislev and Cafe got. Like, I think they're cool things they got. Kislev got the best stuff of the update, not necessarily of the base stuff of the DLC. I think Siege got a lot of good units. So did Cafe. I know Kislev got overpowered units, but I don't account for that. I'm definitely way more excited for Throne of Decay, because that's two factions I like to play a lot, which are Dwarves and Nurgle. And Empire are probably gonna have some cool stuff added. But yeah, and with that, I want to thank you for watching, and until next time, bye bye.